The Big Bayou Canal is a non-navigatable sidearm of the Mobile River in southwest Alabama. It is just 426.5 feet wide with shallow and muddy waters. Moving upstream, it quickly loses more than half its width as it runs almost straight north from there, creating a shortcut to a large bend in the Mobile River. It is crossed by the Big Bayou Canal Bridge, a three-part bridge owned by CXS Transportation 9.3 miles north-northwest of Mobile, Alabama, and 53 miles west-northwest of Minnesota, Florida. Traveling eastbound across Alabama on its way from Los Angeles, California to Miami, Florida, was Amtrak Sunset Limited No. 2. The train consists of 3 diesel locomotives, GE Genesis P40 DC number 819, and 2 EMD P40s numbered 262 and 312, a luggage car and 7 passenger cars. At the time of the accident, number 819 was just 3 months old, having been in service for 20 days. On the 22nd of September 1993 at 2:33 a.m., Sunset Limited No. 2 leaves Mobile Station with 220 people on board, including 2 conductors and 3 engineers. At the station, a maintenance crew performed repairs to an air conditioner unit and a toilet, causing a 30-minute delay. Further up the track, at 2:45 a.m., the right-hand forward barge struck the center section of the bridge, knocking it out of alignment by approximately 3 feet. And it was never fully equipped for swinging out of the way. There was no sensors reporting the bridge's movement, and the tracks on it were severely kinked but did not snap, so the track interruption sensors were not tipped. While the crew on the boat was still trying to figure out what happened and where they were, the Sunset Limited reached the bridge, traveling at 72 miles per hour under green lights, not knowing what happened to the bridge. The leading locomotive, 819, struck the displacement bridge girder as it derailed, causing the center section of the bridge to collapse into the water as the locomotive drilled itself into the muddy bank until the forward 46 feet had disappeared into the mud. The driver was killed on impact, without ever getting a chance to slow down or even know what happened. The second locomotive slammed into the wreckage of 819, starting a fire that consumed most of it and part of the leading locomotive. The third locomotive has all of its underside equipment, including wheels and fuel tanks, sheared off as it went into the water. 47 people sadly lost their lives. 103 people survived with injuries. Few people died from the crash itself. A lot of survivors succumbed to fire and smoke inhalation, while some failed to leave the sinking cars or could not find somewhere outside the fire to surface and drown. By 3:24 a.m., the Coast Guard, now at the site, requested aid for all available boats in the area. One of the responding vessels was the Scott Pride, which was another tugboat which managed to rescue 20 people from the water. By 4 a.m., the responders decided that there are no survivors, allowing the present fireboats to start forcing on extinguishing the flames. Eventually, the fog lifted enough for 2 helicopters to help evacuating survivors. By 8:30, the last surviving passenger had left the site. As a result of its investigation of this accident, the NTSB made a comprehensive series of recommendations on September 19, 1994 to the U.S. Department of Transportation, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, the U.S. Coast Guard, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, Amtrak, the American Waterways Operations, Inc., the Warrior and Gulf Navigational Company, the Association of American Railroads, and American Shortline Railroad Association. The leading locomotive had been new at the time of the accident and was the first of its kind to be written off, as most of the forward part of the train. The bridge was rebuilt after the accident in the same configuration, and initially had service on the rail line in the area continued the way it had run before the accident. Following the accident, Amtrak cut the route of Sunset Limited short, now ending at New Orleans instead of continuing out to Florida. Reintroduction of passenger service to Mobile and eventually all the way to Florida was announced for January 2022, with Amtrak footing the bill for needed repairs and construction. In 2004, National Geographic examines the accident for the first time and for the first season of the Seconds from Disaster series. It is during the research for the accident that cruel coincidence is revealed. Unscheduled repairs to the toilet and air conditioning delayed the train by 30 minutes. Had the train not needed those repairs, or had they been delayed to the next station, the Sunset Limited would have passed the bridge just a little over 20 minutes before the barge struck the bridge. More than likely, the accident would have never happened, sparing 47 lives and 106 people who had injuries.